before I take them out, I'm going to take a biscuit, 2 biscuits, and separate them, preferably thicker than the first one, because I'm going to put the poached eggs, well, yeah, I'll leave the tops off. I could have just used one, but I'll leave the tops off. So I'm going to take I'm going to use this sort of spoon with the straining in it. So go ahead in there and grab out one of these. And it's pretty watery. So you just want to mix it around, woo, and then plop it on there. Same with this one. Just gonna plop it on top of there. And we're just gonna let that set out to the side, and then I'll show you how to make the hollandaise. So now we're gonna start on the hollandaise sauce. We're gonna be double boiling, so we want to take one about medium pot and bring it to a boil of water before we stick the other one in. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a stick of butter and we're gonna melt it. The easiest way to melt it, what I like to do, is cut it into little cubes and drop it into like a little saucepan, well, not saucepan, a little pan, little cup, and just melt it for a few seconds. Now if you don't like hollandaise sauce, then you don't have to do it if you've never had it. I definitely suggest that you try it. It's what makes an eggs benedict. So we're going to pop this in the microwave for about 30 seconds and just let that cook. And we're going to separate our eggs, the yolk from the white. So usually what I do is I just get my nail in there and try to cut it halfway so that I can just pop it off and then separate. So you want to try to put it into the top, put it back in there, but you don't want it to break because then that loses the purpose. So there we go. That means it's time to put it in there. And one more, we're using 2 egg yolks with this. Also some lemon juice. So once again, just use your nail and break it in half. And like the shell is pretty sharp, so it should help break it easily. So you're just going to pop it in there. And then we'll check our butter. And just give it a little whoosh around. I would say maybe 20 more seconds. You don't want to burn it. And then we're going to, well, we'll take a whisk because we're actually going to be whisking this. If you don't have a whisk, you can use a fork, but careful because we're going to be using it over here and the fork will get really hot. So we're just going to whisk this up very quickly. And we're going to be using a tablespoon of lemon juice. So we're going to take our tablespoon. And the butter is actually not going to go in yet. But we're going to go ahead and put our pot over the boiling water, and you want to be careful. And you want to do this as quickly as you can so that the egg doesn't actually cook. Because if it cooks, then that's not very good. So we're going to squirt out our tablespoon of lemon juice. And I'm just going to go ahead and pour it in here. And then we're going to, and careful, because we want it to get into a thick consistency, but not cook. So we're just going to keep on going like this. And then we're going to take our butter, and we're going to pour it in there. And you just want to keep stirring, and it's really hot. So just keep on stirring and holding the pot. Take our hollandaise sauce. I added a little bit of cayenne pepper and a little bit of salt to it. And usually it's more creamy. Mine just isn't really working with me today, but it's fine. And we're just going to take it and we're just going to pour it over our egg. Just there. That's what it's supposed to look like right there. Right, like that. So that would be Eggs Benedict right there. Okay, so we lost one of our eggs, unfortunately, but we're going to use 5 deviled eggs and we'll use 2 for the egg salad. So for the deviled eggs, we're just going to cut the egg directly in half, and we're just going to pop out the yolk and put it back in the bowl, and we're going to leave these. Just pop it out. Just keep cutting them directly in half. I mean, you can spoon them out, but it's just easier to just pop them. There's a little bit of water in there, so I'm going to use a different bowl because I don't want all that extra water to be in there. And our eggs turned out perfect. As you can see, this is like the perfect yolk color for hard-boiled eggs. For real. I love it. So we're just going to set these in here. And we're not going to, once we fill them, it's not going to be some master, you know, design. So we're just going to eat them in half. So just pop those out. Alright. And these are nice little party treats too. So we're just going to bring this over here. And I like to use a fork because it's just easy. So we're going to first take a 1/4 cup of mayonnaise. If I can get it open. And we'll need a spoon for that. Let me get this little straggler on there. And I'm just going to spoon the mayonnaise into here. Get it for the 1/4 cup. Even that about there. Drop it in. And mayonnaise is basically what holds it all together. Just put that in there. We're going to use a pinch of salt. Again, just a little pinch. A 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper. And sometimes I don't even like to use that much because black pepper is really strong. So like just a little bit. We're not even going to use that much. So pretty much just a little pinch of that. If you like black pepper, then be my guest, add as much as you want, but I really am not the 100% fan. So then we're going to take ground mustard, and we're just going to pop off the top of this one. And we're taking 1/2 of a teaspoon of this. And you can sort of level it off in there. And just plop it in there. And we're also going to use 1/2 teaspoon of white vinegar. Just a little kick to give it. And there we go. So now we're just going to use our fork. Mash it around. Bring it to its consistency that we like. And just you want to mash the yolks so that they can get in there. Just give it a nice stir. And usually you let deviled eggs sit for a day so that they can get like a nice hard consistency. But I mean, I'm hungry and yeah, so we're not going to do that. We're just going to eat them. But they probably would be best if you did let them sit for a day. So now, this is the fun part. After you get it all mixed up, we're going to just take a nice little Ziploc bag, open it up, and this is, we're going to take all of our nice little concoction, and we're going to place it in our bag towards one of the corners, because we're going to be basically putting it on through this. So you want to make sure you get all of it, so you don't chip any eggs. And I usually just wipe it off the fork. And I'm even going to leave it open. So now we're going to cut off with our scissors the tip. And boop. And then this is, you can twist the top. And then you're just going to fill up the cups. And 1, and 2, and 3. And I like to add a little bit of paprika at the end for decoration and a little extra flavor. Okay, oh, got some on my hand. It's all good. And then in the end, the last one. And this one got chipped a little bit, so. Alright. So, then I'm just going to take a little bit of paprika. Find it. Here it is. And yeah, ours came in a bag. So we're just gonna, I'm just gonna stick my hands in there. The one that doesn't really have yolk on it. And just try and get a little pinch to sprinkle over them. And it adds some nice color, and this is like a nice little presentation food, so if you are having people over and you want to impress them, and it's also really good. So you can just sprinkle that. And you can even take like the fork and do like, you know, if you want to do like a little, okay, it's not working. It would work if it was harder, but that's why you let it sit basically, to make it look better. So those are our deviled eggs, so we're going to set those aside, and then we're going to make our egg salad. Egg salad is so easy. And this is for like lunch. If you want lunch, we'll rinse them. My paprika hands. And then I'm just going to chop these. So I like to start halfway, fold them, and then make them into little bite-sized pieces. And you don't want them too small, but you don't want them too big. You want them nice and chunky. So we're just going to go through. And 2 eggs is pretty good for, you know, one sandwich. So we're going to pop those on there. And I use the ones, if you have default eggs, basically, like defect, whatever eggs, you can use those. That's the one I use, the ones that didn't peel so nicely. So the presentation eggs can be the deviled eggs. So we're just going to do that. And again, we're just going to use some mayonnaise. I mean, you can put mustard, you can put relish, celery, whatever you want in it. I always put a little bit of salt, my little yolk hands, a little bit, and then we're going to take some mustard, and just take it out with the fork, and just like a scoop of mustard, or mayonnaise, mustard, mayonnaise, and you're just going to go around so that it picks it up. And basically that's egg salad. Like, there's nothing really deep to it. So now, okay. So now we have our egg salad, our deviled eggs, our eggs Benedict, and even, yes, we had to keep it warm, so we put it in the microwave. And Lydia took a bite. So our omelet. So I hope you learned a lot about eggs today. And thank you so much for watching. This is Cooking in College with Paige.